after early morning or late morning here on the beautiful Riverwalk here in San Antonio. My name is Bobby Mendez. I'm a founder of RC Audio Sports, Spear Tax Service, partnering up with Desi to help put this great fight together. And also, this is an event to introduce to you unveiling Desi Martinez Promotions, his first big event, also partnering with Fighters First Management Company. So Adrian's here as well, up on the stage. So a big round of applause to those guys for putting this event together. And that'll be March 30th this year, very soon. We'll be here before you know it at the beautiful Boeing Tech Support Center here on the southwest side of San Antonio. And it will feature undefeated boxers, Sharia Moreo, a knockout artist who's undefeated, and Justin Figueroa. And headlining will be the world-ranked lightweight contender, Giovanni Cabrera. We'll also be showcasing several local fighters, so it's going to be a great event for the city of San Antonio and in a beautiful spot. But now, let's go ahead and dim the lights. We thank you for coming and take a look at Desi Martinez Promotions.
I was about 12 years old. I'd only heard of Mike Tyson up until that point. I didn't even know what he looked like. I never even watched a full boxing match. But there was news in Germany that he was fighting in the States. See, we were living in Germany at the time when my new stepdad had got stationed. For some unknown reason, my mom wakes me up super early in the morning. My stepdad, he was already gone. He was out of the house. He went to go run PT with his troops. It was dark. Everything was early morning motionless. So I go into her bedroom, and up on her dresser with this little small TV, the type with the knob you turn for channels. One up top, one right under it. The knob under it is for tuning. It was loud, and all the clicking was echoing in the house, and there were no other noises in the house, so I was trying to keep it down. My brothers, my stepbrothers, everybody was asleep, except for me and my mom. So I started looking for the fight on any channel. We only had one channel in Germany that showed American TV. Everything else was German. So we were clicking, and I couldn't find it. And then through the fuzz, it was like a snowstorm on TV. It was on the screen. I could see the fighters walking out, and I was like, I think this is it. And I remember I got excited, and I kept on messing with the turner knob because I couldn't get any focus. And I was clicking until it got a little clear. And then I couldn't hear anything. And then the static and the snow started all over again. So I just turned down the volume and just watched and hoped the screen didn't go out of tune again. And then there was more static, and before I knew it, the men were squared up and the fight was about to start. I sat back on my mom's bed, and what I saw scared me. I couldn't believe how violent it was. Tyson literally looked like a tornado. I was watching this fight from beginning to end, and I was in utter disbelief. I was terrified. He was literally trying to kill this man with every punch, I felt like. And then within seconds, it was over. I was disappointed. It ended so quick, but relieved that this other fighter didn't have to suffer through any more. Michael Spinks was knocked out in 1 minute and 31 seconds of the first round, and I was hooked. The more I learned about Tyson, the more I had to watch him fight. He was poor growing up. He was quiet. He was a loner without a father in his house, walking around Brooklyn fighting with everybody because he got teased, because he had a lisp. I understood all that. He fought for us poor brown kids that weren't given much of a chance because we were quiet and we talked funny. When he won, I felt like I won something. When I watched him lose to Buster Douglas, I was confused. My life had changed. When he went to prison, I didn't care anymore. I lost interest in boxing. I identified with Mike Tyson, and his fights, they were more than entertainment to me.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. My name is Desi Martinez. That was a story about me. I don't know, men of a certain age, right? Back in the 80s and 90s, if you saw Mike Tyson fight, I'm not lying, Everybody thought they had a few rounds in them, and that was me as well. I found out very quickly I didn't have any rounds in me. My path took me somewhere else. I've had the opportunity to promote for quite a while, but I haven't taken it. The timing hasn't been right. There's some fighters in here. Let me ask y'all, why don't you start throwing haymakers? Why don't you start throwing knockout punches from the very first bell? Because the timing's not right, right? You're gonna hit nothing but air and elbows. That's what I would have done. I've been a little busy to this point. I'm a trial attorney. My firm, Martinez and Associates, hold on, let's make sure it's playing. There we go. I've been a little busy being a trial attorney here in the state of Texas. Let me tell you a little bit about what we've been doing. We started a small law firm in the south side of San Antonio. They actually told us, don't open a law firm there, you're not gonna make it. 17 years later, we've been named the best law firm in the city for 3 years in a row. This isn't about that, though. This is something about being a personal injury attorney that has some relation to boxing. Let me explain something to you, if I may, and get this thing to work. There we go. Sorry about that. So ultimately, this is what we have in Texas, and this is going to be relevant to what we're here talking about today. So if you live here, you might have seen a personal injury attorney's billboard. A little bit, right? You might have seen a personal injury commercial, heard a personal injury commercial, turned on the internet and seen personal injury attorneys, right? There's a reason that that happens. This place, Texas, is one of the most coveted places to practice personal injury law in the entire nation. There's a reason for that. You saw the graphic. Out in West Texas, there's what's called the Permian Basin. Oil trucks, 18-wheelers, all their employees cross right through San Antonio going east. Under us, the Eagleford oil shale, the second and the biggest in the entire world. Those trucks, those 18-wheelers, those employees go north. Guess where they cross? San Antonio, right? However, the other thing that we have is right outside of San Antonio to Harris County down to Corpus Christi. These venues are considered the most favorable for verdicts in the entire state. Where does it cross? Where do you have this place in Texas where these things end up crossing? Right here in San Antonio. So this is the most coveted place to practice personal injury in the entire nation. I'm not talking hyperbole. They teach this in law schools. Like Frank Sinatra said, if you can make it in New York City, you can make it anywhere. Well, if you can practice personal injury law here and make it, you can make it anywhere. And that leads us to this. Why am I walking into this space now? So, the Texas Triangle. You can look this up. This area of San Antonio, this area of Texas between Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio is a megacity. It's a megapolis. It's a mega region. This region within the next 6 years will be the most populated in the entire country. 70% of Texans will live within this triangle. What does that mean? They've said that this will be the economic engine for all of Southwest America. So, what do we have happening under San Antonio? We have a population, right, of over 80 to 90% Hispanics. I promise this is for a reason, right? San Antonio, the largest metropolis with an over 65% Hispanic population. Why does it matter? Because again, what we enjoy, what we like, what is popular with us is popular with the city. So, what is the most popular sport among Hispanics? Soccer. No, it's soccer. But very close under it, very close to it, is boxing. Boxing has always been king among our population, and ultimately, when you have the resources, when you have the desire, when you have the fan base, when you have the talent coming out of one area like you're going to have in San Antonio for the next 5 years, this is a place where boxing has to have its resurgence. This is where you plant a flag. However, this is something, again, that I've been approached with before, and I've never taken the opportunity to actually go into promotions until now. And I'll tell you why. Something has changed. Met the right people. Got the right team. Wanted somebody to take a bow for a second. Daryl D.W. Goodlow. He will be a principal in Desi Martinez Promotions. I'm proud to know Daryl. He will be our production manager. He will be head of productions, and why is that important? Let me tell you a little bit of something about Daryl, very humble individual. When I first met him, he'd already been practicing his trade as a director, as a filmmaker for about 10 years. He'd already made a bunch of videos, already made a bunch of short movies. When I met him, he'd actually just gotten back from Hollywood. He was sitting in between Morgan Freeman and Beyonce receiving a national award for policing. And he comes back home to San Antonio. And we didn't even write a story about him. We sit down for lunch, remember? And I said, look, man, you're going to make so much noise, they're not going to be able to ignore you. So that's what he did. He started making noise. Started producing his own sitcom, The Odd Life of Shay Little. He was named the best filmmaker in San Antonio several years in a row. I can announce this, right? So now he's actually signed up. He's going to direct and produce a movie with Danny Glover coming up within the year. However, he's dedicated to this, Desi Martinez Promotions. He will be our production manager, and I couldn't do this without you. However, Bobby, you've already met. Thank you for RC Audio Sports and everything that they're going to do in the commentary space. However, again, I could have the best production crew of all time, but if we don't have fights to put on, then what does it matter? The timing wasn't right, but now it is. I need to introduce you to the Fighters First team because Jolene, kind of like Cher. You say Jolene in the boxing industry and everybody knows what you're talking about. She's been around the fight game her entire life. She cut her teeth for over a decade with Kathy Duva at main events. She was an NABF Matchmaker of the Year. She is in the New Jersey Sports Hall of Fame, and she is the president of Fighters First Management Group. However, go ahead. You got a little excited. However, this young pup, I can say young pup because the first time I met him, all he had was a social media page and a dream. Adrian Clark. I'm glad to have seen him grow up. This is what he's done. It's just a little bit. When I first met him, he was already listed by Forbes magazine as one of their under 30 individuals in the sports arena. However, from that moment, he became an author. He wrote 5 books. One of them is considered one of the best books of all time in boxing. From there, he became the content director of the Fight Network. He built a partnership with USA Boxing, and then he gets a call from a gentleman in Atlanta, David. David has the means and the ability to have started a management group, but he wanted to do it based off of what Adrian was trying to educate the fighters on. How do we educate them in order to get them to no longer be taken advantage of? These are the principles that he's been talking about for several years. David said, look, I need you. And now he has them. The CEO of Fighters First Management, my friend AC Adrian Clark. Please give him a round of applause.
Good morning, San Antonio. Desi told a bit of my story, so it's like you guys already kind of educated on who I am and what I do, but thank you, Desi. I'll say a bit about you in a little bit. I want to kind of give a little bit of acknowledgments. Desi talked about like my beginning, and it's funny, like my beginning as a professional is actually here in the building today. When I graduated from Texas A&M in Corpus in 2009, one of my childhood friends who was already playing in the NBA gave me an opportunity to come live with him and learn under him in Salt Lake City, Utah. So I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for future platinum recording artist Mas Fresco, but also 16 or 15? 17-year NBA vet. I'm supposed to know that. 17-year NBA vet, CJ Miles is here today. That's CJ. Thank you for being here. But as Desi was saying, Adrian Clark, CEO of Fighters First Management, got a call, and a call that I actually have been waiting for, that I've been working for, by a gentleman named David Basher, who is not in attendance today, but David Basher created Fighters First Management, and he read my book, Protect Yourself at All Times, and he wanted me to build a company that was in the likes of the book. And I'm listening to him talk, and I'm excited, but I'm just trying to keep my cool. I had two demands. For me to take this job as CEO, I had two demands. One, I'm not managing fighters anymore. I did 9 years of managing fighters. I'm not signing up to manage fighters anymore. I'll build the company, but I don't want to manage the fighters myself. I felt like I had put my time in. And my second demand was, I can't do this journey, and I won't do this journey with anybody but Jolene Mazzone. So I know Desi already introduced her, but I want to give one of my best friends, someone that I'm super close with in this industry, and someone that I feel that is, was 2023 Boxing Manager of the Year. I want to give another round of applause for Hall of Famer, my best friend, President of Fighters First Management, Jolene Mazzone. Joe did a lot last year, and I'll introduce 4 of our clients that are not here, but just to show you how good she is at what she does. Otto Wallen fought Anthony Joshua at the end of last year. It was Otto's biggest payday, Otto's biggest stage to fight on. Although he fell short to a great fighter, Anthony Joshua, it was Jolene that negotiated that multi-million-dollar deal for Otto. Otto couldn't be here today, but it just shows just one example of how great Jolene is. We also have another fighter by the name of Brian Norman Jr. He's 23 years old, I believe, and currently 25-0, signed with Top Rank Promotions, another deal that Jolene got done. And we have 2 guys that have been severely underserved in the sport of boxing, but they've poured their heart and soul into the ring, and they're finally getting their just due based off of what Jolene Mazzone negotiates in regards to purses and promotional contracts. One fighter has a big fight coming up on April the 6th. Sean McCallman, who signed with Main Events. He's fighting Diego Pacheco. Tough fight for Diego Pacheco coming up. And we also have Justin Paldo, great fighter out of Houston, born in Orlando, but he's definitely been underserved in the sport of boxing. Currently 15-1, but he's now world ranked, again, based off of negotiations from Jolene Mazzone. So just a quick example of how great she is and how great she's been to this company. And I swear, man, I wouldn't want to do this journey with nobody but you. And we got a long way to go. We've only been in this 23 months by my account. And I'm not going to say by next year, by the end of this year, if we're not already the best boxing management company, then we will be by the end of this year based off of the work that she does and the work that we do. A bit about the Fighters First Showcase before I get started. I've been nagging Desi to become a promoter for some years now, and we've taken trips to different places. Quick story, we flew to California a few years ago to meet with Golden Boy Promotions. Desi was not a promoter, but was interested. So we sat down with Rob Diaz, who was then at Golden Boy Promotions, Monica also, and Rob Gaspari, and we met and talked about Desi becoming a promoter. It was a great trip. It was a great trip until we were getting ready to leave California. Now, I noticed that he booked one-way flights, and I honestly was thinking, okay, maybe he just wants to kind of chill in LA for a couple of days and figure out what he wants to do. This man rented a car for us to drive back from Los Angeles to San Antonio for him to talk out and think what he wants to do moving forward. I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for a round trip from San Antonio to LA and back, but not driving back from LA, but it was one of the best rides Desi and I could have went on, because in that 22 hours, we figured out what would be next. And it took us some time to get to this point, but I'm glad he's finally here. And when we decided to do the Fighters First Showcase, selfishly, I'm thinking this gives Fighters First one hell of an edge to become one of the best boxing management companies, because really no other management company has a showcase to display their fighters. But then also, it was a great introduction for Desi to become one of the known and recognizable promoters in the sport of boxing. So I'm happy that we're doing the Fighters First Showcase, but I'm happy that we're doing it in the city of San Antonio. This is quickly becoming a second home for me. I'm here to visit Desi a lot. We were walking the Riverwalk a couple of weeks ago. I was like, damn, man, I never really realized how beautiful the Riverwalk was. I never really walked it to see all of these things. And the more and more I'm in San Antonio, the more and more I fall in love with the city. So I'm very thankful for Desi and his wife Jessica and his family for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to show them that boxing could not just be beneficial for us financially, but beneficial for the city of San Antonio. So a huge round of applause for the city of San Antonio and its patrons. So going into that, I want to introduce two of the talented fighters that I'm actually excited to see. One of the gentlemen I have not seen before, but I hear great things about him, and the other gentleman I have seen before. But San Antonio is rich in boxing talent. You guys have a few world champions here, and I know a lot more of world champions that are somewhere out here hidden, and I hope to find them before anybody else does. But two of the fighters that will be featured on the card March the 30th at Techport, which I'm also excited to see. Desi raves about the Bowen Center at Techport. I've yet to see it, but I'm excited to actually see it. But one of the gentlemen that will probably be opening up the card is a fighter that my man Adrian Rodriguez came up to me and was telling me that he's probably one of the best up-and-coming fighters in the sport, in the city of San Antonio. But give a quick round of applause to Isaac Bermea. Now, I have watched this other gentleman fight, and I'm excited to really see him get a good knockout on the card. We had a brief exchange a second ago. I'm really excited to see the veteran, 15-1-1, correct? I'm really excited to see Eddie Ortiz get a knockout on March the 30th. Quick round of applause for Eddie Ortiz. Now, for my knuckleheads, my group of, we had dinner last night, man, and I was just telling them about enjoying the experiences, like all these experiences that we get. Like you can talk about the money and all these different things, but the experiences, man, that's one thing that you just never let go of sitting down, having dinner, just laughing it up and busting it up with your representatives and your fellow fighters. But we have a really good group. I introduced you 4, but these are the remaining 3 and a special 3 at that. Don't let her beauty fool you. Like, I know Jessica said, you know, if she never would have said she was a professional fighter, I never would have guessed it. Me neither. And I think a lot of people, but I watched the beauty turn into the beast in Atlantic City. When she fought in Atlantic City last year, the girl wasn't taller than her, but she was a little bit naturally bigger, but the knockdowns that she got showed me the power that Shariah has. And I'm going to say something that Shariah probably doesn't know. A lot of this showcase was planned because of her. One thing that pained me, and it pains me with boxing, when fighters become inactive and they just sit on the shelf and they're not fighting. One thing I don't like with our clientele is someone that's not fighting, and Shariah was really the only one that wasn't moving, but her patience, man. She was so patient through the process, and I thank her all the time for that. But she's going to be active. Desi's as a vow and a commitment to keep her active, and I see a lot more knockouts coming for Shariah, but I want to introduce real quick. Great. Shariah Monet.
Well, he said first I'm going to be active. So many people recommend me some nice food spots where to go. I'm going to see my face a lot, and I'm excited. I'm just excited because I'm finally going to start something great. And look at this promotion. This is amazing. First time it's starting, I was like, wow, like, this is nice. So good job, Desi. Like, hand it out to you. And then I just want to say Jolene and Adrian, like, they'll tell you, I was a big baby cry, like, yo, when am I going to fight? Like, come on, I see everybody going, like, I would see this knockout. I'm trying to get another one. But now I'm thankful, like, San Antonio welcoming March 30th is going to be amazing because, listen, I'm trying to finish it out, come out, you know, eat my popcorn, knock her out, and let's go home, get my check, and say, what's up, y'all? We can go party. So this is looking like the venue. But thank you, and I don't want to talk too much, and I'm sorry if I talk fast. I get very excited. So thank you guys again.
Thank you, Shariah. She doesn't talk fast. My mom talks way faster than Shariah, so she doesn't talk fast. Next up is, I call him GQ. I called him Johnny Cage the other day. Now, I think everybody in this room probably recognizes or knows the name Johnny Cage. I think it kind of shows how old I'm getting, or older I'm getting, because he was like, yo, who's Johnny Cage? I'm like, who Johnny Cage is? But the pride, the fighting pride of Atlantic City, if you've been around boxing a bit, you know how rich Atlantic City used to be or once was in the sport of boxing. I truly believe, and I don't think Jolene will kick me for this, I really believe that this gentleman is going to be the one to revive boxing in Atlantic City. But he's currently 7-0 with 6 knockouts, and he's hoping to keep up that streak here in the city of San Antonio. But representing Atlantic City, New Jersey, just in time, Figueroa.
Check 1, 2. I haven't talked on the mic, I don't think ever, so I think this is my first time. So thank you guys for having me. My name is Justin Figueroa. I go by Just in Time. Right here, check out the new watch. Nah, I'm just messing. Yeah, I go by Just in Time. I'm very excited for this opportunity. And I just want to say, in the word boxing, there is an I, but in this sport, it's really not about one person. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank Desi Martinez Promotions for putting this together. I already know it's going to be a great event by looking at the press conference. I'm amazed. This is my first press conference, so I'm honored. Like I said, thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for Jolene Mazzone for always being the best. She's the godmother of boxing. That's how I feel about her. She's the best. Thank you, AC, for putting me on. And I'm excited to perform. I'm here to entertain. 7-0, 6 knockouts. And I'm looking to put on another performance and get another knockout on March 30th. But I'm real excited. And like I said, I'm here to entertain. Hopefully I get that knockout and get to show you guys how I celebrate. I think it'll be real interesting. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Justin. And after he wins, you guys are in for a show. What he does in the ring is incredible. But last but definitely not least, man, is my little brother, my little problem child, well, Jolene's problem child, actually, but my little brother. Gio listens, and I think Gio would agree with this. If Gio didn't listen a few years ago, he would probably be still trapped in 2 bad contracts if he didn't listen. Gio took the time to put the business of boxing first and figure out his situation before focusing on what was important for him or to him in the ring. So it wasn't me that got Gio out of contracts. Gio just took the advice of someone that's, I guess, considered an OG in the game, and he talked himself and got himself out of 2 bad contracts. And from there, he went on to, I remember the phone call. We talked about it last night. He called me one day like, yo, I'm on my way to California. Like, for what? Well, I'm just going to go and figure things out. And I thought he was crazy, of course, but long story short, him going to California, living out of his car, really trying to figure out this boxing thing, he ended up becoming Manny Pacquiao's sparring partner. And Manny Pacquiao was getting prepared for a good friend of mine, Errol Spence Jr., and he's like, man, you won't believe this. I'm Manny Pacquiao's sparring partner, and we're getting ready for Errol Spence, so I can't really talk to you anymore because we're getting ready for Errol. And I'm like, he's really figuring this thing out. Went on to get signed with Top Rank and win 2 big fights on ESPN. He actually, is it a record where you knocked down Gabe Flores in like 5 seconds or something of that nature? So Gio he continuously surprises me. I know he surprises Jolene a lot also, but you guys have probably seen him. He was the co-main event to Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford last year of July. He slipped away and he lost a split decision to Aesop Pitbull Cruz. Some people argue that he won that fight. I think we will argue the same thing, but Gio just always figures it out, and I'm always impressed. I'm sometimes losing my hair behind him, but I'm always impressed by how he gets things done, and he's moving and shaking in places that you just ask, like, yo, what? Like, how did you do that? Like, he had Rob Shapiro in the locker room, and he had Waka Flocka walk him out. I'm like, bruh, how did you get that done all by yourself? But just as he amazes inside the ring, man, he amazes outside the ring. But I'm extremely proud of him, and we're looking to get him focused to make sure that he puts on a great show on March the 30th, because that's going to set him up for something bigger from there. But I hope you remember that San Antonio is going to have a huge place for you, man, a special place for you. So make sure you put on for this community, not just inside the ring, but make sure you do some things in the community when you're not inside the ring as far as San Antonio goes. But my little brother and our problem child, but the great Giovanni Cabrera.
Oh my God, thank you so much. How's everybody feeling right now? Yes. First off, I just want to say a few years ago when I didn't really know where to go, I just split with my team that I had grown with my entire beginning of my professional career. We started looking for people, for good people to surround myself with. And my father, he found a guy by the name of Adrian Clark, and he had this book called Protect Yourself at All Times about how to educate the fighters, of how to not get taken advantage of. And when I read this book, I was like, damn, like this guy literally sprung up as the exact character that I needed, the person that I wanted to look up to. So let's give another round of applause for Adrian Clark. You know, he's a man that stands up for fighters, and yeah, just really incredible thing. He told me about Desi Martinez, and anybody that is recommended to me by Adrian Clark is immediate family. He's a well-respected name, and to me, San Antonio, like they say, is a booming city. A lot of people, the Latino population is in power here, and I want to bring that. I want to highlight that, and yeah, represent my people well. I think this is going to be one of the most historic events, opening the doors for boxing here in San Antonio. I'm really proud to be part of it. So yeah, thank you so much for receiving me.
Desi. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, AC. Thank you, brother. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We have quite a few VIPs here. Thank you for the trainers. Thank you for the fighters, the celebrities, the media, the sponsors. So bar's open. Get something to eat. The fighters will be ready to take pictures with you. You can speak to whoever you want to. March 30th, 2024, the Boeing Center Techport Arena. Let me just tell you one thing. It's the most advanced arena in the entire country. And I'm not making this up. They got fiber optics that helps protect the entire country. The NSA rents half of the entire facility because the fiber optics are so fast. But I only wanted to say one thing about it. Thank you. Shout out to the crew over there at Techport. They have lightning. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. They have lightning. That's all I'm going to say about it. If you want to know, you got to go. Get some tickets. They're going on sale soon. God bless you. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and let's keep on eating and drinking. Thank you.
Make sure we get that picture of everybody.
Absolutely.
You ready? All right. Look, dog, I'm extra unique. My whole aura screen telling. I've been listening.